All right. I wanted to do my Set Your Year on Fire race director recap. Um, I think overall this year was pretty good. We've had the most pre-registered people that we've ever had. This year we had 97 pre-registered with day of. It bumped us up to 109, and we had 78 total participate. So like roughly 30 people signed up beforehand and j didn't show up today, but with the weather being in the teens, I sort of expected that. I actually expected less because the roads were a little sketchy in some spots. It's just par for the course this time of year, but I'm very happy with that. Uh, Even with it being cold and the roads being bad, this is the most that we've had participate in the race. Um, I know last year, the first 2 years, we've had 69 total people. This year we had 78 total people participate. So each year it's growing. And again, with the pre-registered, went from 74 last year to 97 this year. So that's a huge jump. We had people register from like West Virginia and a couple Florida people. So there were some people from far away coming. West Virginia people coming um, that signed up. Of course, with the weather, they couldn't make it. Um, for the race itself, I mean, I think everything went smoothly. Registration seemed to go smoothly. Setting up seemed to go smoothly. The race itself went pretty well. I know the course was a little rough this year with a couple inches of snow. There's really not much I could do about that because I'm not allowed to touch the trail. Um, the reason is if I touch it and plow it beforehand, then the local residents will expect that to be done all the time, not just for a one-day event. Um, so that's why I'm not allowed to do that. But uh, I think it actually benefited not touching the trail yesterday or even this morning because it allowed people to run in more of a softer snow than a compacted snow where it might have melted yesterday into today. It just made it more slick. Um, at least from my experience running races in the winter and running in snow in general. Once you have a bunch of foot traffic or you smooth out a trail, um, it becomes a lot more slick than when the snow's actually more soft or uncompacted. Uh, so we'll see. Um, I mean, this is the third year. The first year I think it was the first year was hot. Last year might have been raining a little bit, or I might have uh, reversed those two. So this was actually the worst year for weather-wise, at least temps. Um, so we've been pretty lucky. So we'll take it this year. Next year we'll look for a nice 50, 60-degree day. Um, I know the walking division really grew this year with us offering age groups. I really like to see that. A lot of competitive walkers coming today. Um, And even in the run, there was a lot of competitive people there today. I know people might not necessarily be happy with their times this year because uh, they're gonna be slower no matter what, just because of the course conditions. So that's a give or take. I would say like 2 to 4 minutes easily. Um, with the conditions definitely slowed you down. So if you subtract 2 to 4 minutes, um, I would say that would give you your normal 5K time for the conditions of the trail. Uh, Obviously, I got the two new inflatables that you could see behind me. Brought those out this year for people to take pictures with and for the awards. Um, I was going to put a backdrop up uh, in between them to use to take for pictures and stuff like that, but with the wind, it just kept knocking it over. So that's why I didn't use that, but that was in the works. Um, Finish line, I had the arch up that I bought a couple weeks ago. People enjoyed that again. Just makes things look a lot more official. Gives you more of an actual um, bigger race feel. So I really enjoy that part of the race as well, having that set up and seeing how people enjoy that. I got some sandbags this week for it. It really held it down, even when the wind blew a little bit, kept it in place. So that was pretty cool to see those work pretty good. Tied some ropes to them. I think 12 and a half feet pieces of paracord so that we could wrap it up onto itself, But anyway, yeah, everybody seemed to go around the sign at the end. I had people watching, I had the trail camera set up. Um, I know the water stuff was probably a little bit cold uh, with the water just being out there for like an hour. It might have been a little bit cold, but at least I didn't put no ice in there. Played that smart that way. Um, I got chocolate milk from Giant Eagle. I ordered that this year for everybody. I got some cranberry ginger ale as well. Just try something different that you don't see at other races. Um, and I got like the moon pies. Again, another one of those things that people like, but you don't see at other races, and just a wide variety of different snacks. There's a lot left over. And I remember if you were there, I told people, please be greedy and take a bunch with you because I don't want to take anything home. There's still a ton left. Um, because I did overbuy the food just because with like 100 people pre-registered, I want to make sure everybody was covered, and then another 20 plus day of just spitballing. Just had to make sure. So I did have a lot left over. Um, and as I said, people to take shirts. So people did take the shirts um, who didn't get the shirt deadline, or they just took an extra one home because I didn't want anything to do with carrying around the shirts again this year. And as I say, if you register and don't show up, you don't get a shirt. We give them away because I don't want to carry them around and I'm not going to mail them because it's like $6, $7 to mail them. So just one of those things. Um, as I'm spitballing here things out, I know I took probably 1,200 pictures on my phone um, between the start of the race, the finish line, and the awards ceremony. And then I didn't check the trail cameras yet, so I'm expecting probably another 400 to 500 pictures from that. So there's at least going to be 1,500 pictures, I would say, total for everybody. So everybody will have a couple pictures um, of themselves from the race, guaranteed. Maybe at the finish line, you might have been cut off a little bit if you tucked behind somebody, but I definitely have a picture slash clip of you. Um, my buddy Charlie Young, he got a drone. He brought his drone this year. Made a nice video, which if you haven't seen the link already, it's posted. I'm gonna post it to YouTube as well to help him out, get his name out there. It's a really cool video. Really excited about that. For stuff like that in the future, trying to make things more interactive, I guess, for the races. Trying to think if I did anything else. I did put up a couple walls on the canopy, registration canopy to keep the wind out from the ladies' registration. Um, that was about it. I think new stuff. Um, again, I like to use the fire truck as a start signal instead of just ready, set, go. That having a sirens go, it just adds a different element um, that a lot of other races don't do. And again, not that it's overly super exciting, but it just adds a different element and a different feel from other races, and that's what I try to do when I can, especially since it's free. You know, try to do something different that's free that makes a little lasting impact, something different. And this year, since we had a bunch of walkers, like competitive race walkers, I started them 2 minutes behind the run because that's what other races do that have a lot of people in the walk category. So that way, it just clears them out and lets them have a clear race course in front of them to race walk. Um, and they appreciate that because that was a consideration that I took. I did get some apples and oranges because somebody said that after the Festivus race to do. Um, so I did get that. I forgot about that for food. Um, the fire company was out, which was nice. They brought the side by side down just in case something happened on the trail, crappier conditions. We can get to people easier. And then Ferry brought his heater. Um, that's the Ferry Automotive guy who sponsored the race. He brought his, big heater down that people were using. So we really thank him for that. He offered that up. Um, and we increased the Porta Johns this year from 1 to 2 because with that pre-registered number, we knew one wasn't going to be enough if 97 people came. So that's why we got another one. Um, and then I did block the road coming down the middle of Friendship Park and Weller Field with that danger tape just so nobody drove down as we were racing. But I think that was about it. I know people like the awards. I heard great things about the t-shirts. Now, the one thing about the t-shirts is I think it was 3 colors this year. Might have to go back to 2 different color screen printing just because it bumps the price up dramatically by like 100, $150 per color, I think. Um, so I'm going to try to keep it down. I don't know. We'll see. It's still a couple months away from design. Uh, what else? I don't know. I just really enjoyed it today. I know it was cold and I was kind of worried um, how many people were going to show up and how things were actually going to go. I didn't want people to get cold or sick, but it actually felt pretty warm out. At least even when I was standing there at the finish line, um, I didn't get cold at all. So if I wasn't getting cold, you shouldn't have been either if you're there racing or spectating, as long as you change your clothes after you raced. Um, Other than that, as I always say, thank the sponsors, support the sponsors throughout the year, because again, without them, uh, the race doesn't happen. Um, I'm gonna try to have this again the first week of January on the Sunday again. Um, uh, I mean, we can hope for better weather conditions, but again, it's not about setting up necessarily a PR the first week of the new year. It's about getting out and getting that first race under your belt, and see where your conditioning is for the last couple months. After the holidays, and you know, again, setting a PR, blazing a trail. Um, but again, the fire company really appreciates the sponsors and then everybody who participates or registers for the race. I do as well. Um, as I see the race keeps growing each year, so it's starting to really take off, and I'm looking for next year to probably get 120 plus uh, pre-registered at least. Um, I got some things in the works that I might try. One thing, I'll say this now, I don't know if I can do it, but I would like to do like a polar plunge um, underneath the bridge, like after the race, for those who want to participate in that, and just something different for the community to come down, maybe get some more people to participate. I don't know if I'll get permission to do that. Um, that would be up in the air, but that's one of my big ideas for next year. Underneath the bridge, do like a polar pull and just charge people like $5 or $10 or whatever, um, just to raise some more money for the fire company. As long as I can do it safely, and I get permission, because that's going to be a big issue is getting permission. Because obviously safety reasons and that time of year, stuff like that. And again, like I said, the bag drop didn't work because the wind. And every year I try to mix it up at the start slash finish line a little bit with what I put out. Last year at a Dalmatian and that fire hydrant, I was going to put them out, but time sort of got tight because I do try to do everything myself. Is most one of the big things that I work on is recruiting one or two people to actually like help me set up. You know, because I have ladies, Barb and Vanessa, who do registration, but and help me tear down. But I think I'm gonna get somebody to come and help me specifically to set up, because it'll just take a lot off my plate. So that way I can come around and make sure everything's going smoothly before the race more, and thank people for coming type deal, which I like to do. Um, and we'll see. Um, Trying to think anything else. I'm just spitballing here. Um, if you have any suggestions, comments, please let me know. Anything you'd like to see different, anything you liked, didn't like, let me know. Again, I can't touch the trail, um, so that's the only thing I can say is if that's a complaint, I can't do nothing about that for permission wise, because if I do, then just won't have the race, because I'll get in trouble. Um, yeah, spread the word, follow us online, um, and yeah, looking forward to next.